Greetings, fellow domesticated supervillains. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to another installment of the Main Street Cinema Fan Fest, the show where we take a look at the finer points of fan filmmaking. And tonight we have episode 3 of a series we've been covering, a little web series from the YouTube channel JustGiggleIt. We have Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World, episode 3, the Pregame. All right, Dragon, we've been looking forward to this all month. What do you think? Was it worth the wait?
Yes and no.
Ooh.
Yes, in that it was good. No, in that it's a to be continued. It's kind of half of an episode, which does bother me. Well, again, it's like the only thing I can really hold against it is that
It's the pregame. It's literally called the pregame.
I know it's the pregame. I know it's the pregame, but that still doesn't really help me in the fact I feel like we got an incomplete episode, which does kind of bother me.
Man. Okay, well, I definitely have a different opinion then.
Oh, look, I still like it. I'm just saying I still feel like there's something missing. This one goes by. It's you can agree with me. This episode does go by really quickly.
You know what? This might be a controversial opinion, but I actually like this episode even more than episode 2 because I think it's a little more, like, I actually think the pace is a little better, and I kind of appreciate the shorter runtime.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering unless let's encourage people now to get a little promotion where promotions do. If you it's Patreon, right? If you donate to the Patreon for Just Giggle It, you can watch the episodes in advance, which is very handy. But I'm just saying for the general public who may not be able to do that.
Sure, and for the sake of the recap podcast, we'll just cover it when the actual show gets released.
Yeah, just for the average show. My point is, again, don't get me wrong, I think this is all good stuff. It's continuing to be good stuff, but I can't in good conscience say this is better than... Because episode 2, I really loved episode 2. I mean, I can't say it's better than the other two, because the other two were like, one was the introduction, we have like a lot of great mundane there. 2 was just hilarious and dark and kind of in a very kind of Paul Dini-esque thing, which I went on about all about episode 2. And I personally really liked it. This one was good, but again, I need that other half so I can say, oh my god, this really is up in it even more. It's just, this is it's a good pregame. It's a good prologue for the rest of the episode. It's basically, I feel like this is a good Act 1 and Act 2. I'm missing Act 3. And again, I'm not holding that against the episode. I'm just saying that I still need it to kind of measure the whole thing.
Well, guess what, Dragon? I actually do think this is my favorite of the 3. And of course, subjectivity, Steven, as always. Yeah. But
well, the point is, we should say we are getting some good stuff from these guys still. I mean, thank God the show is like, I don't know how many episodes are going for this first season, but I really hope they're
it seems like they're pretty committed to it.
I really hope they keep going with it.
Yeah. Let's see. No, Dre, I don't know. To me, this episode is the best mix we've had yet of just really funny humor and a really dark undercurrent behind everything. I'll get into it, but I think there's some really interesting things about the abusive relationship the Joker holds over Harley. That really came to light here. So.
I will absolutely agree with you on that too. There is some great subtle stuff going on in this episode, like in the performance, especially Brianna Oppenheimer. She has there's a really one of my favorite moments, and I think I have really two big favorite moments in this thing. One is like a subtle thing she does in the acting. The other thing is kind of the obvious thing we end the episode on, which I thought was really awesome. But my God, we really have some cool. I will say we do have some really cool stuff in this episode. Again, it's all kind of building towards. And I think this one again, you kind of is absolutely necessary for where we're going in this series. But let's save that more of that talk for final thoughts. Let's go through the episodes. Let me summarize the premise for the folks out there. And pretty much you watch the video, which you all should do.
I have the link in the description. It's down there. So go ahead and check it out.
Harley Quinn the Joker versus the Real World, episode 3. You get like a little description. Also, I love that they credit everyone in the description, by the way. Really, really top notch. So that's a quality production. They credit everyone in that little description bar. And in the description bar, we have a little premise. Let me just summarize that premise's summation. Joker and Harley pregame for a party with Addison. That's pretty much kind of the straight to business premise of this episode. So that said, with our kind of our fun mundane show here.
Okay, so we get started with Howie, the new
powwow with Harley and Joker.
And Howie was the new lackey from episode 2 who got brought on.
Which I love that idea. So Howie doesn't see what Joker's dry cleaning has to do with the big plan, which leads to, oh, how we can't see, how horrible. And then Harley Quinn.
How many fingers am I holding up?
I love this gag, and I just gotta commend these two. So whether the episode is not as great as episode 2 for me, again, we still have I'm still applauding until my hands fall off. Just how great Joshua Thomas and Brianna Oppenheimer, they just embody Joker and Harley's timing and cadences and these little character bits like Harley Quinn saying it's so original. I haven't really seen this with Harley Quinn ever. It felt so undeniably Harley Quinn, where she says, how many fans am I up 1, 2, and the switchblade for number 3. That's awesome. It's original. I haven't seen it. That just feels so true. I just love how true the characters these guys are. And again, they're such a great amalgam of everything Joker and Harley. Mm-hmm. Let's see, so Joker informs the new lackey that back-talk and thinking, minimal at best. I know you're new to the whole lackey thing, but back-talk and thinking, minimal at best.
You even believe that I can take over the city's crime circuit?
In a dirty suit?
Oh, God, and here we go with some really good humor.
Now, I really...
Tacky, Howie.
Yeah, the tacky run, I gotta tell you, I have a big theory about this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There was a really interesting... You got a really interesting thought with this.
Okay.
Basically, after watching the first time...
I thought it was really funny, but go ahead.
It is funny, you're right. It's not only funny, it might be a big plot thread, a little plot seed we got here.
Okay.
First of all, it's revealed Joker intends on taking control of the city's crime circuit, which we did get a little tease of in the to-do list. Which again, I love they're following that up. By the way, we have the to-do list, and I'm imagining going forward. By the way, I'm imagining kind of and you've seen this example that the layout for you. Joker moving to a new town, like when he visited Metropolis in World's Finest, the animated film. He intimidated kind of the local crime syndicate, and he gets a little place to stay and gets some henchmen. It's kind of how Joker operates. So what Joker's planning here, at least in theory, seems to be all kind of classic Joker thing. And again, we've seen some other Joker stories. Just kind of it's standard operating procedure for the Joker. Go to a new place. Well, you need some muscle. You need some clout. You're going to intimidate the local crime syndicate of some variety. Anyway, so my theory is that after that hilarious dirty suit line, which still cracks me up. I think this when Harley continually, she and Joker keep saying tacky.
And Harley's just literally sticking a tack in his side.
Yep. This may be Joker's subtle manipulation to control and train Howie.
Okay, I can
think about it. As we see in the episode, there's a lot of evidence for this, is that he is driving Howie slowly crazy over time. Mm-hmm. Think about it. He is now trained by the end of this episode to overreact when he hears the word tacky. To obey Joker's orders to the letter with tacky, because he had suffered like a mini trauma here with a little tackiness. And again, that's why they kept saying it over and over again. Maybe not just for comedy's sake, but maybe on some level, again, to slowly commit his henchmen.
Sure.
See, here's the thing with Joker's henchmen. You usually have like kind of these varieties of henchmen. You have henchmen who are just in it to earn a paycheck and praying that they don't get killed. You have henchmen who are just sick and depraved individuals who just worship and follow Joker. Or the third variety, which I believe Howie falls into, is that Joker drives them mad, kind of like Harley. Joker drove Harley mad. He's kind of driving Howie mad. Basically henchmen and also there are other stories in like the Joker Brian Azzarello novel. He drove Johnny Frost kind of crazy in a way.
Sure.
So again, it's like a drawn-out version of Charlie Collins from Joker's Favor, which I brought up last episode. And by the way, Charlie Collins in the animated series, he's in Joker's Favor. It's voiced by Ed Begley Jr. Nice. You remember Ed Begley Jr., don't you?
Oh, of course. Come on, do I remember Ed Begley Jr.? Come on now.
No, I just wanted an excuse to say, Murray, don't want to get on Ed Begley Jr.'s bad side.
No.
Everyone angry at Begley Jr. No, but seriously,
he could be a nice boss if you're on his good side. But okay, anyways.
No, but seriously, with the Joker's Favorite thing, it's like basically Joker takes an average Joe and just kind of drives him mad through the course of one episode. And this seems like to me what they might be going for with Howie. Last thing before we move on, I'm sorry. The last thing is that it might be kind of the drawn out, extended version of Joker kind of breaking a man's sanity in a way.
No, I mean, I gotta say, I didn't pick up any of that, but you're absolutely spot on with what you're saying. I see what you're going for.
Well, when we get to the dry cleaner scene, I think you'll see a little bit more of what I'm saying. We'll build there. Anyway, so let's see. So
And remember, Howie, none of those 1 hour places.
yep. Don't what's the line?
I
Don't
don't need the upcharge.
don't need the upcharge or the rushed half job done. He says, got it, boss. And also, importantly, he's also telling Howie, this is probably going to be important going forward, is that Joker tells Howie to, saw us on the list, find me a gang and drop off my dry cleaning. Anyways, let's see. So he says, got it, boss. Harley thanks him, and then he just kind of snaps for a moment. Again, showing kind of the deteriorating sanity of Howie here, just running up to her saying, he almost strangles her and just saying, you're insane!
And of course. Oh, how sweet of you, Howie.
Oh god, I just love this. I love Joker's old business too. It's okay, less compliments, more clean garments.
Oh god.
Oh, but yeah, again, the timing and the cadence on these two is just perfect. And throwing in kind of like our outsider into the mix here is just being swept up in the world, and also how he might represent a little bit of what Addison's arc might be later on in the series, perhaps.
I think this episode did a lot for Addison's character, and I'm excited to get into that. But
oh yeah, speaking of which, let's see. So what our next? All right, we have Howie leaves the room to kind of get some, get stuff done, take care of business, that sort of stuff. Good help is hard to find these days. Oh, if I could, I'm sorry. Harley says, good help's hard to find these days. If I could clone you, I would. Ooh, kinky, Mr. J. She kisses him. I just love this classic kind of abusive Joker. Like he shoves her to the side after she kisses him, shoves him to the side, and he says,
"Get your head out of the gutter."
Yeah, he says, "To do my bidding, Harley. Get your mind out of the gutter."
Yeah, that's just kind of the first sign of things are definitely not all well with the Joker-Harley dynamic, which is how it should be, and it's portrayed very, like I said, it's like we've gone over it before, but this series does such a good job of towing the line of, it's mostly a comedy, but then there's hints of darkness just spread in there.
Absolutely, and I love it when they dive in, and they dive into it just the right amount so far. I mean, I'm interested to see if it's going to reach a sort of tipping point later on. If they're going to maybe shift it to more tragedy and a little bit of comedy. Like right now, we have a lot of comedy, a little bit of darkness. If they could maybe, I'm not saying they have to. I'm saying be interested to see if they do that.
Would be bold, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially if they did. I have a theory. Well, I'm sorry, speculation for what a finale could be for the first season.
Okay.
So. Let's see. But also, what I love about the points of Harley is I love that after that, again, this classic Harley is that she then switches on a dime after that little bit of get your mind out of the gutter. Harley just bounces right back, as she always does. The wonderful thing about Harley Quinn, she always bounces right back. She asks, "Well, Pun, when are we doing date night?"
Oh God.
Joker promises, "Soon, Pooh, soon." He says, comedy takes up so much of my time, and not to mention life of crime. Harley, and he has a good kind of relationship drama we're getting between these two because it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense that Harley's just airing out her. She's very open with her feelings. She's
sometimes it feels like you don't even want me around.
Yeah, especially when you annoy me. Absolutely not.
Oh God.
Yeah, basically, it's the idea Harley Quinn feels like she's not a priority or even wanted around, which again, Joker becoming fixated as he tends to do, especially if anyone's seen Mad Love. Absolutely, Joker gets fixated on things.
Right.
Harley, could you do me a favor? Yes. Kill me, so we can be done with this conversation.
Ooh, man. And that's kind of like the run into the intro, so that's a good place to, kind of cut it off.
Yep. Okay, let's see. So then we have, again, some big progressions going on here. Howie, a little bit of crossover, crossover. Howie
legitimately contemplating his life. Like, I could have gone to art school. I could have been a writer.
But instead, I was a meter maid.
Oh, God.
So Howie, I was walking down with Mr. J's dry cleaning. He bumps into Addison. Into Addison. And again, impressively, that Addison's she's so darn pleasant, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
Instantly, the two kind of take a shine to each other. Howie takes a shine to her. They can have some small talk about, oh, you live here? Oh, yeah, sure. And you? He says, oh, yeah, I'm visiting people, friends. Again, she's so darn pleasant, and he says, maybe I'll see you around sometime. He usually murmurs to himself, after the week I've had, please God.
Please God. I'd like to see how that develops, especially like when you think about it, if Addison and Howie are going to be influenced by Harley and the Joker in different ways. You know, if they're kind of if they're getting close with each other while the main two are kind of influencing them, that'd be an interesting dynamic.
Certainly. Let's see. So we have couple trouble.
Kind of like, she's just kind of like ranting about how the Joker doesn't care anymore.
This is a great two things I want to mention real quick because I completely forgot about this in the beginning. I did notice this isn't a knock against the episode. Just saying a difference I noticed. Right off the bat, the lighting's off. Did you notice that, Tiki?
I mean, I didn't personally notice it, but
I'm just saying, like, inside, I was the first time I watched, I was trying to put my finger on what's different here. I don't know, there's something off here. I kind of noticed they didn't have the same lighting as the other two episodes when we were kind of in the apartments. Like, what didn't have like that the warm lighting. Like, it was mostly just kind of a really cool lighting. Very minor thing. I just wanted to bring to show it right off the bat. Seems a little different.
I mean, like, if I could just speculate, maybe it was just shot earlier in the day.
I mean, absolutely, take it. I mean, that's.
Like, that's probably what it is, because I know when we do the podcast, you know, when I do it in the afternoon, there's definitely like a glare of light going through my window. So I'm sure that's probably what it is.
Again, not a gripe, just I wanted to notice that, something looks really off here. I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, seriously, they still have some great shot composition, though. Like, right here, this shot, like, Joker on the couch, just lying down. Harley just kind of like, prancing around, like, going, and this, and basically she's
she has the line of the episode, which I think is oh, and then Howie comes along, and Howie's name kind of sounds like mine, and it really bothers me, put in.
And Joker's on the couch, like, I love the two fingers making the finger gun, like, he blows his brains. Such an Archie Bunker move for the Joker. He's just like blowing his brains out, playing dead. And then Joker asks the very pleasant Addison, if you have a gun on you?
And then, of course, the great thing about Addison is that she literally just thinks these two are like a big comedy routine or something. She's no gun, sorry.
And here's the first big moment of the episode. Really, sure. Huge moment. This is the follow up to this. Is the moment I'm talking about. So
to be honest with you, like my mom being with someone questionable, this kind of hits home a little bit, I must say.
Yeah, so this is great.
Not to get too real world with it, but
let's not let's not get too real world with it.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm not trying to say my mom's in an abusive relationship. I'm just saying some of this stuff kind of like I can relate to it a little. Anyways.
So Harley Quinn, basically she's mentioning Addison that she feels like she's I'm just standing here being taken for granted. And then Joker, his eyes go wide, he springs into action, and he very scarily, seriously says to her as he plops her down on the couch, and tells her, "Harley, stop." And she's terrified. Again, I love there's a little bit of comedy on this too. Like initially, it's like a little bit of like, okay. Don't run, your heart goes out to the poor Harley here, and again, you know, Joker's looking up to Addison, just gives a smile, like.
But then Addison, of course, she's just none the wiser.
Yeah, Joker gives the monologue rationale. Harley's just rehearsing for a monologue. Just now here's the moment. I gotta really commend Brianna Oppenheimer on. Oh my God, this moment to me, this shows you that she's not just playing like the classic thing of Harley Quinn. Anyone doing Harley Quinn things like you play her as Judy Holliday, like right away, Mr. J. Just like the whole like happy go lucky. It's like she's isn't she so wacky and Fran Drescher-esque? Isn't she?
Fran Drescher-esque. I've never heard Harley described that way, but sure.
Well, I could tell you funny. Basically, the original Harley Quinn's modeled after Judy Holliday, and there was this hilarious episode where Joker replaces Harley for an episode, and someone doing a Fran Drescher impression.
Oh no! Oh God!
Really funny, and it's like the Fran Drescher one. There, she's more buxom and everything, and she's just right away, Mr. G, and she has an annoying laugh, and it's pretty hilarious. Calls him Mr. I'll be the best Harley ever.
Oh dear, that sounds delightful.
It's hysterical. It really is. Maybe I should have hired the fat guy because there's the big guy model that's for Paul Dini who was.
That sounds like some classic Steven Spielberg produced animation right there.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is again I want to track again seriously. The brilliance. My point of bringing all that up is anyone not the knocking, they can do it well. They can do it well, but anyone can do kind of your happy prancy Harley Quinn. But this shows you bringing up her, and she kind of gets as we already had evidence of before, and she really gets the drama of Harley Quinn. So she gets kind of the abusive, fully developed side of this here, where she's this little moment, such a little subtle moment, goes by in an eye blink of her reaction as Joker's like going with the whole monologue thing or something, like basically as Addison's about to spring into the whole like, I can hook you up with an agent and all that stuff. You see this little subtle reaction of fear and discomfort in Harley's eyes of just after seeing Joker's scary side. Mm-hmm. And you see her kind of burying her feelings in the process. It's like a subtle glimpse of Dr. Quinzel's inside there. The Dr. Quinzel Harley Quinn side. The Harleen Quinzel before the therapist that fell in love with the Joker is still kind of in there and still kind of emotionally shaken by it. There's so much dimension processed in that little movement. I don't mean to linger. I think there's a lot there that shows you that little moment of, she's more than just kind of there's a sadness to Harley Quinn. I think it's embodied really well.
Oh, absolutely. Totally.
But also now, let me speculate as to on Joker's side of this for a moment. Is that I suspect the reason Joker really spring action so suddenly for this is that Joker does not want to scare Addison off, because again, they need the place of residence, they need the roommate, they need the apartment. So again, if they get into their classic thing, it might remind Addison of her abusive relationship. Maybe she'll be less, she'll be onto him, or less onto him, more like she'll be uncomfortable with them. Joker still wants to promote kind of the happy atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the whole thing. Joker is just, the consummate showman. He really wants to put on this image, and especially of some of the shades of, they're running away from Gotham, and we're going to see that towards the end,
Yes.
He really wants to get away from his old life, and anything that's going to trigger that is going to, he wants to kind of shoot that down. I mean, he wants to be kind of the clown prince without the crime part of it, if you know what I mean.
No, remember, you're right, Tiki. I'm saying that
I'm saying in front of Addison. Like, I'm saying, like, to other people. Like, he's actually legitimately making an effort to, to seemingly take the crime out of the clown prince of crime.
Right, because you gotta remember, Joker is an extraordinarily original kind of not perspective. He's a position. I don't know why I'm having trouble thinking position here, where he's in this position of, again, he can walk through the streets of LA and no one's going to know that he's the Joker. It's such kind of a freeing thing. Like, Joker has an alter ego all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. Thing he's never really had to deal with. It's like, again, it's a Joker with kind of a free range thing. You never see this with the Joker. And it's really interesting.
Sure.
So anyway, so let's see. So Addison, she's going on about setting Harley up with Addison's agent, because I believe Addison's an actress on the side or something. I believe so, because it sounds a lot like she has an agent, so she'd be an actress, I imagine. And I love this. Again, I love that we can shift from comedy to a little bit of really serious drama, and then kind of back to comedy again, like a split second. It's so amazing. Is that, Addison's going on about, and basically Joker then realizes, the cover story I gave, he's just squinching his face of like, I don't want to hear.
I can hook you up with my agent.
It's like, oh God, I forgot she's an actress. God.
Oh God.
So he instantly regrets that cover.
In LA. I mean, come on.
Everyone's an actress or a waitress.
Right. Or both. Most are both. Let's be real.
Well, not just also like the actor. Everyone's in the acting field.
Sure.
So let's see. So, I'm sorry to get real quick. The thing I was going to bring up, I kind of forgot about, is that there's an old vaudevillian saying, Tiki, is that you never want comedians have on stage. Never let them see you sweat. That's kind of what Joker's doing here with the whole performance thing you were bringing up. Is that he doesn't want the you never show cracks in the performance being the consummate show. I'm sorry, I just want to get that up before I forget.
No, totally.
Right. Okay. So they're Joker says, Harley, she's just playing around. Leave it to the professionals. Let's leave acting to professionals. Addison asks what their plans are tonight. Harley's saying it's like her little way of getting back at Joker. She's like, she can, again, Harley's saying she can bounce back even from kind of the scary stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
She bounces back and says, we have no plans. And Joker's giving her a look. What, I answered honestly.
She did. And it's honestly probably the answer Addison wanted to hear.
Yep. And I do love Joker does something surprising. I love that Harley kind of calls him on it. Basically, Addison says she has an old sorority sister, Carmilla. I believe Carmilla, she's having a party and invites Joker and Harley. Mm-hmm. And Harley, initially, again, they're such an in-tune couple here. And then, again, this might be shades of something to come in the next part of this, perhaps, is that Harley instantly, again, per their relationship, they're so in tune, is that Harley tries to shoot her down because she realizes, okay, he didn't want to go to the party. He's going to shoot her down nice and gentle. And then Joker does a complete 180 from what Harley's expecting. He says, "We'd love to come." Really? Really, Puddin'? And Joker says, "To get out of here, yes." I'm about to go back. I love this little mention of one of our favorite characters from this show. about to go bake with Miss Erickson.
Oh God! Right.
Basically, he's 2 seconds away from going to find something to do by baking with Mrs. Erickson.
No, I'd like to see an episode just based around that, just Joker and Mrs. Erickson baking a pie. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great if after he just took the pies, he walks through the door and just says, "What do you got, Mr. J? Where's Howie?" And Howie walks, just pies him right in the face, and they laugh their heads off. Be a great little short, just be a hilarious little short. Bacon with the Joker, bakes a pie. Oh, ain't that sweet? Ain't that nice? Harley, look, I got a pie. Where's Howie? Zowie.
Anyway. So Addison's very excited about them coming. First LA party, woo! Oh, actually, she lives in the valley, so first LA, outer area party, woo!
Good. Also, I love the framing of this stage. I love how she just kind of plops herself in the middle of the two. Great competent, great blocking, I should say.
And then she mentions, "Oh, you two haven't met Party Allison yet."
Party Allison, my God.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just saying Party Addison is hysterical later on.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Can I just say, Party Addison gives me a secondhand hangover just watching her.
Party, as you can see in the is the screen locked or what? Going back
yeah, the screen's locked, I think.
Cool, I just want to make sure because let's make my point here. As you can see, the image in front of you, folks, Addison, she's really into the booze when she's Party Addison.
When we get into Party Addison mode, I just have flashbacks of my heavier drinking nights, and it's just oh God. And I say that in a good way. I say that in a way the actress is definitely conveying it very well.
Well, better a happy drunk than a sad drunk.
Well, of course, and I'm more than drunk.
I'm not saying that Addison's a drunk either. I'm just saying the Party Addison really knows how to live it up. That's all I'm saying.
Party Tiki is basically just me sitting in my room alone, drinking 6 rum and cranberry juice drinks.
I have my own vision of what Party Tiki looks like.
Oh, it's not great. It's not great.
Well, I have an idealized version of Party Tiki. Party Tiki is a very kind of decked out in Hawaiian shirts, the little tiki necklace thing that they wore in the early videos with the giant sunglasses and maybe a sombrero might be going a little far.
I can assure you, sir, Party Tiki is not nearly that cool.
Seriously, how cool does my version of Party Tiki sound?
It's flattering, but it's not me.
You know what I gotta give him? I gotta give him the new little Hawaiian little welcome flower thing you put around the neck. Give him one of those.
I mean, maybe when I'm hanging out at Trader Sam's Tiki Bar at the Disneyland Hotel.
And Bermuda shorts. Anyway, so fictional Party Tiki aside. So let's see. So again, so Addison mentioned, we haven't seen Party Addison. And then Joker, I love it after hearing Party, I'm starting to instantly regret this. Addison mentions it's a costume party, and they can go as is, or feel free to mix it up.
Oh God.
She's going to change and basically be able to pregame. Now, Tiki, pregame, correct me if I'm wrong here, when I heard the term pregame, I assume pregame's drinking before the party, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, because I've never heard the term. Honestly, I've never heard the term pregame used for it. I mean, I know the whole drinking at home, then you go to the thing. I've heard about that. I haven't heard the name for it.
I can give you a specific example. On my 21st birthday, I pregamed by drinking a pint of Captain Morgan's before going to my 21st birthday party.
This is going to sound really silly, but just to show you how ill-informed I am on the whole pre-gaming thing, when I heard the name of the episode, for some reason I thought he was going to be invited to a sports party of some kind.
Honestly, that's kind of I think pregame, that's the most common term for a pregame, right? Would be a sports event. I think pre-gaming for a party is more of a, it's more of a like an urban encyclopedia term, I would say.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, so Joker and Harley, they said, "Oh, we're not wearing costumes. Yeah, that'd be stupid, right? But we could mix it up. But we could mix them. Then we have one of my oh my god, there are 3 moments in this episode that jazz me out of my mind. So again,
I mean, guys, just congrats for doing this awesome fanboy reveal, because I'm sure every fanboy that watches this is going to be so pleased with it.
Yeah. 3 moments in this episode that really got me jazzed out of my mind. So again, I told you the Brianna Oppenheimer, the little glimpse of the sad Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
There was that. And there was this, because basically this is them adapting. But basically, they even did it far better than Suicide Squad did. Honestly,
oh my god, yes!
I'm saying
way better.
Now, okay, well, let's not poo-poo Suicide Squad entirely. Come on, let's be fair.
I was more high on Suicide Squad when I first saw it, and I'm less high on it now. Let's just say that.
All I'm saying is Suicide Squad, I think it's a good movie, just we're missing the greatness.
I don't want to turn this into a Suicide Squad.
Anyway, my point is, let's bring up what's relevant about the Suicide Squad here. Is that Suicide Squad, I'm going to spoil this because you can give people some hope for that movie, is that there is just that one solitary shot that just is one of my favorite shots from that film. It's almost like reason for admission when you see it the first time. It's a beautiful. They've been waiting for years to see this, and it looks
right.
glorious. Yeah, seeing Margot Robbie and Jared Leto looking like the Alex Ross cover, where it's Joker and Harley dancing, and it's Margot Robbie in the classic Harley Quinn suit and Joker in the tuxedo again, just like the Alex Ross, the famous Alex Ross painting. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's beautiful. It looks great. And here we get to see it even. Plus, and again, I didn't know there was a way they could do it better. My God, they made like an awesome suit-up thing where we have they're changing out of their costumes and putting on the classic gear, and it's such a wonderful Harley Quinn. Tiki, the minute I know it's silly because again, many fan films it's easier to adapt the costume in fan films than it is to adapt in the actual films.
Of course.
That shouldn't be the case, but it is. So the point is, even though I shouldn't be like super like I shouldn't be fanboying out as much as I am during the first watch of this episode. When I saw the instant I saw her ankles in the Harley Quinn diamond colors, it's like you're doing it. It's because Brianna Oppenheimer, she's such a good animated series. It's just the kind of classic animated series Harley Quinn. But again, we've had her in the veneer of the Suicide. Again, it's been a good mixture of the two.
Of course, yeah.
Again, we finally get to see her fully garbed in the classic Harley Quinn thing, and even better, we get to see Joker and what I love, they kind of mixed up. It's kind of a Suicide Squad meets the Greg Capullo, which one of these days you'll see. Tiki in the Endgame story, he looks. In the Endgame story, Joker has like a purple tie, and he has like the purple garnish, not garnish, God, not garnish, the purple flower in the pocket thing. Mm. And here he has a white tie, but you know what I mean. How he pretty much is wearing what exactly Endgame Joker is wearing.
Sure.
Only it's a tuxedo here. Point is, we get to see them both, and they look great. Such a great reveal of the two of them, and fully decked out in kind of the Alex Ross kind of painting costume, what we saw in Suicide Squad. But again, he plus made even cooler through montage. And I love this too. There's a wonderful little moment here too. Is that Harley Quinn? I love this. She. Basically, it's a meta fourth wall gag, and it's awesome. She says, "Everybody happy now?" Because yes, Harley's there in the costumes.
Yeah, of course.
Harley's in the suit. Everybody happy now? Yes, we are. Thank you. Oh, and they look great.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes. So, following that again is in sequence. Then there's the third best moment of the episode.
Yeah.
So we hear Addison has borrowed one of Harley Quinn's costumes.
Oh, God.
Joker, and I love. By the way, this is pretty funny too. I just love Joshua Thomas. He has a great. I don't know. He has a great delivery on this. I don't know what it is. It just sounds like he just says. Harley's saying, "Well, costume. I know what she's talking. You have any idea what she's talking?"
They're just like, okay.
Oh, I love Joker has a really great sardonic line. Just saying, "I have no idea I have no idea about whatever she's talking about." Basically, whenever she talks, I have no idea. Then she's ready. Addison, she's all pumped. She's got some alcohol. She is prepped and ready to pregame in a Batgirl suit.
Yeah.
And the reaction is my third favorite one. It's so awesome.
Priceless.
Oh God!
It's like the perfect combination of scary and funny, I would say.
Yes. And Tiki, you know me. I've been waiting for the little acknowledgement of Batman.
Oh, of course.
It's great. It's just where she comes out in the Batgirl suit, and you see C again. And we've seen great comedy with these two to embody Joker and Harley. And again, we saw kind of Harley's moment, like the seriousness. And don't know, Joker has had moments where he's murdered people, so we've seen kind of the scariness of the Joker. But here we get the unbridled, like one of the best qualities of Joker. Mark Hamill in particular plays like. Mark Hamill plays Joker as restrained madness of like, he goes, and now we're going to, and he'll just explode on you.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of have a moment here where like it all comes to like a scary kind of silent Joker glaring at you and just really, really tensing up the way he plays him. He's like, what are you wearing, Addison? Just very seriously, they both kind of tell her to change.
Change now.
Go change now, and Addison doesn't get it, but she agrees, obliviously to what's going on.
All right, I should have asked first. No big deal.
They change them. We're gonna get,
and then pregame.
And then just Joker. It's so great. I love the way Joker's processing Addison in this episode. She's like, I almost killed her. I was this close to killing her. and Harley comments that he might take us to the Harley. I know you're gonna get kicked out.
It's almost out of instinct, like we were dinosaurs, and she was just the Jeep.
Appreciate that one.
Oh yeah, great Jurassic Park reference. Love it.
Yeah, but Tika, I did love this though. I love the two things you got to address here. One, it's an interesting notion that again, just they are trying to change their ways. Again, it's like it's an impulse that might definitely come into play.
I would say this is probably one of the most interesting story points in the episode.
Is that it's not only they're trying to kind of distance themselves from life in Gotham, particularly again they are still themselves. Undeniably, they're still kind of classic Joker and Harley, not plopped into a different city. But again, the big elephant or the big bat in the room, so to speak, is the connection to Batman. The minute Batman, in some way or shape or form, enters the fray,
I would almost say Batman kind of represents an addiction or something like that. If you
that's
go that far.
Absolutely, Tegan. That's what it's them fighting Joker. Basically the whole premise of the show, on some level, is Joker's trying to get away from his Batman obsession or his addiction, as more adequately put by you. And let me say this too. I have some theories as to why. I mean, I love that. I kind of like that we don't know the answers. Like, why on earth would Harley Quinn, if they're trying to distance themselves from
they're building a bit of a mystery behind it.
Yes, and I'm very interested to see where that goes. Is that and why would Harley have a backer set? I can throw you a few quick ideas. I was like, well, one, it could be the interesting Scott Snyder thing of, well, not just Scott Snyder, but the most interestingly done by Scott Snyder. Like Joker's still obsessed with Batman, he's still in love with Batman, so Harley would dress up like Batman to cheer Joker up at times.
Or it could literally be a trophy from the Killing Joke.
It could, and with the Killing Joke, what it could be is that this is a sadistic thing I'm about to bring up here, so take with a grain of salt, is that what if, again, the cheer Joker up perhaps, what if Harley just dresses like that and like lays on the floor and just says, oh, help me, I can't get up.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
My dancing days are over.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying that might be their sadistic way of getting their kicks.
I think that's up there with the Wild Thornberry's Darwin canon.
Oh, come on, Tiki, come on.
Is like one of the darkest things you've come up with.
No. You fed into, no pun intended, you fed into the Darwin thing.
I feed into it, but
you fed into it. That's like half me. That's mostly you.
Anyways.
Anyway, my point. But you see what I mean? There are theories beyond the Batgirl thing. Why would he have the suit? Again, it could be to. Again, there was also kind of the get your mind out of the gutters element of, again, maybe he loves Batman to excess. Who knows?
Or it could just literally be like he keeps it there as a reminder of what not to do.
Again, there's many.
Like,
it's an unanswered.
You know the whole thing where the alcoholic will have a bottle of alcohol in the house just to test them?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking that was honestly kind of my first impression when I saw that whole, like, alcoholic with the bottle of alcohol in the house thing.
I gotta tell you, honestly, if they went that direction, I would give them applause, and I would say, "My God, that is a brilliant idea. I still would love to see that play out." But again, it's a bit of mystery. It could just be a one-off gag, but I think
sure
it could be. And again, still you can speculate. Like it could be the gag of like, why on earth would Harley Quinn have that? Like, do they use it for something? Or
I'm sure. Regardless, they do some kinky role play with it, regardless of where it came from.
And again, it could be the abusive thing too. Think about it. It could be the abusive thing of, again, he takes his rage out on Batman. Think about it. If they're building the addiction thing, it could be Joker. Again, it could be a really dark thing. It could be. Is that he dresses her up like that, and that's how he gets his anger at Batman out.
Right.
Again, we don't know. Again, the unanswered questions leaves you to speculate all these possibilities. It could be could just be like comic reasons of like, oh, okay, just dress her up and he makes fun of her. You don't know.
Well played.
Like for all we know, he could just like chase her around the room and say, "Oh, I'm gonna get you, Batman." Again, just for kicks, but you don't know.
Oh God. That's like the Batman Return to the Cape Crusaders version.
But again, it's a smart played move that didn't go into like quite why, but again, it's still an open door that we'd love to see explored. Like if there was like the addiction thing, which I think would be a brilliant way to go with that. So let's see. So again, Party Ass is then revealed in a tutu.
Oh dear.
She's getting schlockered and excited.
And like I said, just when I saw this, just instant secondhand hangover.
And Harley Quinn likes Party Addison.
Oh God.
Then to be continued happened. It's like, no! Where's the third act? No! Again, I liked all the stuff before. It's like, okay, it was good. I mean, you just gave me that awesome joke. 3 awesome moments, man. Keep going.
I don't mind it as much. I don't mind it because, like you said, 3 awesome moments. I think 3 awesome. It's kind of like, I do think it has a flow to it. And like I said, the episode is called the Pregame, so I really don't have as much of a problem with that as you.
And I mean, look, that's absolutely fair. That's just my opinion on it. But you're right, T. It's nothing to hold against the episode. It's just a personal thing. Like, I still feel like I need more there. It's just, if I were to rank
it. If you feel like you need more, it means they're doing their job right.
It is. I mean, again, like, kudos on. They're doing absolutely on the money there.
Yeah.
Okay, so thankfully it doesn't just end there to be continued. Thankfully, we do get some post-credit gags.
Of course.
So we see Howie now, Tiki, you did watch them this time, right?
Yes, I did.
Our last time. So Howie is at the dry cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to take us through?
Yeah, sure. He's he's asking the girl at the dry cleaners for a gun, where to find a gun, and she doesn't know, and then she asks
again, Tiki, that's proof of Joker's getting to him. He's quoting Joker lines now.
Right, yeah. I definitely picked up on that for sure. Then she's like, "You want our 1 hour service?" No 1 hour service.
Because he hears tacky at first. He hears tacky. And we then see it is actually a man outside yelling taxi over and over again. He just instantly says, no. He's in Merslow. No 1 hour service.
I just love how tacky is like a trigger word for him now.
Also, again, that's what I'm telling you. I think Joker's conditioning him for these things.
Oh my God. You know what would be fucking great? I mean, I doubt they could do this because they probably couldn't get like the clearance rights for the song. But okay, Weird Al has a parody of the song Fancy that's just called Tacky. And so it'd be great if they played the Weird Al song Tacky, and every time they said Tacky, Howie just had like a reaction to it.
I'm really interested to see going forward if they implement a thing where Joker will have other like little small moments that kind of show you he's in controlling or deteriorating Howard's sanity.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Also, we should mention the knife gag is pretty funny. She's going over, okay, purple coats, some makeup stains here. And a knife. Oh, and sir, you forgot your knife. As we see, Howard is very stressed out by that old tacky thing. And he walks by the guy outside. Big guy walks up with a knife, yelling this to a guy. It's pretty funny. He says, I'm sorry, real quick. Also, I love she was so the lady at the counter so pleasant. She said, "You forgot your knife. Have a nice day."
I mean, you get the feeling that, in the back of her mind, she's like, what the hell is going on with this guy? But yeah, you're right. On surface level, she's very pleasant.
But then again, Howard, big guy, walks up to the taxi guy, and he's saying, "Hey, have you ever heard of Uber?" He's just so ticked off at the guy. You freak me out, man. So then we see, again, I love this running gag that in the subscribe message, there's a little box of like, you guys were telling us the Joker, telling people to subscribe for updates and yada, yada, yada. And someone always cuts him off and never lets him get the last word in. Addison.
And in this case, it's Addison in the Batgirl's costume.
Yep, just interrupting the Joker. What is this? Interrupt the Joker thing. And then it cuts out. And then we see, this is a change. We haven't seen this before. Two differences we've had in these 2 episodes. And again, one is that we didn't have a Juggalos gag.
Uh-huh. Right,
Which again,
right.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't really know how many ways you can do it without it coming up with different things because you.
I don't necessarily think that needs to be a running joke.
Well, I mean, whenever we were saying like, "Oh my God, it'd be great if they kind of kept that running gag," like the whole "we ain't juggalos,"
Right, right.
but again, with like a different thing said each episode. But again, I'm just saying, so the first one we've gotten without that. I just want to point that out, and also the first time we got an outtake for the post credits. And it was I love this too. It was the post credit. It was the outtake of Harley. She's basically saying it was supposed to be Joker and Harley in the real world, and supposed to suck at us.
Don't say the real world.
A lot of fun.
Okay.
Hey, so I guess we should get to what do you want to do? Spec, then final thoughts.
I mean, whatever we do, let's make it quick because I'm past my bedtime here. But yeah, spec and final thoughts.
Real quick, spec. I think Howie will be driven mad over time, but also hit it off with Addison.
I think so too, and like I said, I think the dynamic with them both being influenced by Joker and Harley in different ways is going to be interesting.
Yep. It may end up that Howie and Addison are in Joker's new gang, the one that's being formed. Again, they might be two members of the gang for all we know. Batman in L.A. Batman somehow showing up in L.A.
Oh, that'd be great.
Now, here's the thing, though. Seriously, imagine this as your finale. Though. If you want to, like, at the very end, you want to flip the tables to, again, a little bit of comedy, mostly drama. Like, mostly darkness. Is that... What if Batman shows up in L.A.? The Joker stirs up a ruckus, in the last episode, Batman just kind of shows up, and then basically Joker has, like, the scary psychotic rage we've seen of the Joker, and that's when he just snaps, and that's, like, the finale for perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
For the first season, hopefully they'll go on. But I'm just saying that how great would that be if Batman, the actual guy, showing up and impeding on Joker and Harley's happiness, really just Joker instinctually snaps people, he pulls out a knife, he gets into a fight or something, who knows? Again, I'm talking like Dark Knight Returns Joker stuff, for all we know.
Right.
Well, not to that eerie level, but you know what I mean, like in the vein of like he's like an instinctual thing, he sees Batman and needs to kill him.
Right.
Harley, now, here's something we got to hint at in this episode, is that perhaps we could, I speculated this in episode 2, I think, is that we could build to a thing, getting us to the finale of Joker and Harley Quinn kind of being on the outs, possibly. And again, for all we know, the next episode could be them getting into Joker's trying to distract from the fight by going to a party, so perhaps things don't go so well in the next episode. Maybe there's a split that goes on.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think last thing is, it'll be interesting to see Joker and Harley Quinn interact with the L.A. crime syndicate. Again, my measure, if they do that, would be kind of world's finest, where they kind of just impede on your local crime gang going on.
Uh-huh.
But again, I wonder what the L.A. crime circles are going to look like.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't really say much because everyone's in bed now, so I'm sorry.
All right, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. Yeah, I just can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. I'm sorry. The thing's looking a little different.
I feel bad, but I like literally everyone else is in bed, and I have.
All right, let's get into final thoughts. Let's get into final thoughts.
Okay, I'm like not trying to like intentionally stand you up or anything. So, no, all good theories. Final thoughts. Like I said, I think it's a matter of subjectivity here, but for me, Dragon, I definitely think this episode had the best mix of like strong character development. We're kind of seeing arcs come together for these characters, and good humor, but also some really good undercurrents of darkness spread throughout. So personally, it's my favorite. I mean, I could see how you like episode 2 a little bit better, but like I said, I don't really mind the fact that this is shorter, because I think the fact that it's shorter makes it just a little more tighter and more concise, in my opinion. But, again, fantastic series so far. Not a bad episode at all. Of course, really good run. Hope they do a lot more of them. And, yeah, really looking forward to the next one.
Again, I thought this episode was good, but again, on some level, I mean, I'm a little more swayed on it now, I'll admit. But, it's good, but it still feels a little incomplete, which I think, here's the thing, I think it hurts it as a standalone in a way. I think, again, once we get the full thing, I think it's going to be, leave a better taste for me.
Uh-huh.
But again, even as is, it's still all right. It's still good. I just feel like we kind of ended on that not a cliffhanger either. It's just we don't have a resolution. It's like we build to this. Okay, Addison's like she's ready to party, and I don't know. It just feels like something's missing. But again, there's not anything really bad about
The
it.
episode is literally called the pregame.
Yeah, I mean, again, they build to the pregame.
What more do you want?
I wanted to see the pregame.
That was the pregame, Dragon. What you saw in the episode was the pregame.
That was the pregame entirely.
Yes.
It's just her one person drinking. That's the pregame.
Pretty much. Yes.
All right. Well, I thought they were all going to partake. She's like hyping up the pregame. I don't know. But again, I'm not trying to.
No. I'm saying like that's generally how it goes with a pregame. Is it's one person getting more drunk than all the other people, and that's why they're pregaming.
Seriously, that's entirely. I'm sorry. I'm so unfamiliar with the pregame. That's why.
I remind you of my 21st birthday. I had a pint of Captain Morgan's before I even went to the party, so I was more drunk than everyone else. I was pre-gaming.
Sorry, folks, I'm just so unfamiliar with pre-games. I think that's why this episode is just maybe not as good as 2 for me. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But again,
I'm just more of an alcoholic than you are. No, I'm just kidding.
But seriously though, it still has really great setup though. I think has a solid performance and. Very solid performances and dialogue as per usual. Again, really good one-liners. And Joker, I noticed on the rewatch, like, oh god, he has some great one-liners.
Of course.
I think this is the first episode we're getting that's really getting us to Joker's goals set. Like we're getting an inch closer to what Joker's plans at the crime syndicates and everything are. Okay, we seem or progressing, and that's an important thing. And I love the Suicide Squad reference. I thought that was excellent. Dressing up, and finally they're in the costumes moment.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. We certainly hope you've enjoyed this conversation, and we've been really enjoying following the series, and we'll continue to podcast about it as long as they keep releasing episodes. So yeah.
And sorry, real quick, we got to plug them real quick. We just want to say again, as they've said at the end of their own video, they're trying to get this out there, and we should do the courtesy of doing that for them. Is that follow them on social media, which I believe includes Twitter, Instagram, and also YouTube.
I'm guessing maybe a Facebook as well. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure.
Well, I mean, you watch the very end. I don't maybe Facebook it. It's but again, folks, check it out. Also, donate to the Patreon if you can. You'll be ahead of us. Don't spoil it for us, but by all means, go to the Patreon. Again, excellent show. Give these people all the business you can. Just Giggle It. These guys know what they're doing. They know these characters, and they're very good at what they do. Can't wait for more from them.
All right, folks. So thanks for joining us, and see you later.
Party, Addison. Yeah.
How many fingers am I holding up?